Hello everyone. It's Angelica here from Toronto, Canada. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to make scones. I'm going to make some cranberry scones, and they are is a recipe that I found on the internet. It's by Martha Stewart, and it's amazing. I made them a few times, and today I have some cranberry leftover from the holidays in the bag. I still have a few left here, but I prepared a half a cup and I sliced them. The recipe asks for sliced cranberries. So here it goes. It's 2 cups of flour, and we are going to measure 2 cups of flour. It's good to do the flour just like this, so you have a better, like grasp of how much. It's scones, so it's a little. If it's a little bit more, it's like it's not the end of the world. But as we know, when we bake, we need to kind of follow the recipe. Baking is chemistry, so we follow the recipe. So 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and we need a little bit of more flour for when we put the scones on the working surface, that they're gonna come out from the bowl. The mixture is gonna come out of the bowl. So I'm gonna just leave here the flour handy, and then we are adding 5 tablespoons of sugar, white sugar. Here we go, 5. We are adding it in a bowl with the baking powder and the salt. So the flour, the baking powder, the salt, and the sugar all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna need another tablespoon of sugar to put on top of the scones once we are portioning them and putting them ready, getting them ready to bake. So that's that. The baking powder, I measured the baking powder. It asks for 1 tablespoon of baking powder and a half a teaspoon of salt. It's already measured in here, so we save time. All goes here. Now I'm gonna take a whisk and just whisk. My oven just beeped because I preheated the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. It depends where you are tuning in from. You might have another, a metric measure for the temperature, but you can convert and, put the temperature on the oven, probably Celsius, I would say, if it's not Fahrenheit. So now we cut the butter. It calls for 6 tablespoons of chilled, cold, unsalted butter. So, and also in small cubes. So I cut mine in small cubes, and I'm just adding it to the flour. And then I have a pastry blender, which is this utensil right here. They are really handy because you don't need to put your hands. I mean, some people put, but the thing is, for pastries, it's always important to not soften the butter. So it's better to use this, or maybe 2 knives if you don't have this, and you just go in, and then just make it smaller. Cut the butter in and blend it in the same time with the flour and all the other ingredients that I just put there. So here we go. It forms like a crumbly mixture, like coarse crumbs, it says in the recipe. And of course now I kind of know how much I have to do it, because I did this a few times. Okay, so now we'll take this out. We don't need this anymore. Okay, and then I'll put it just in my sink over there. And we need to add 2/3 of a cup, half, meaning if you're not in North America, half is half milk, half cream. It's a mix that you find, liquid, a dairy liquid that you find in the grocery stores, but you can also put buttermilk. So I choose buttermilk with a little bit of cream, which is 35%. I don't have half, but you can make it your own, you know, like if you have 35%, like I do, you mix the 35%, just like half with, you put less and then put milk, you know, like kind of balance it. And we add it here to the flour. It's very easy, this recipe, fast too. I'm gonna put everything in here so I can make room for the pastry to put it on the surface. So we leave the flour here because we're gonna need it right now. This, I don't need the the cranberries yet, but I will in a few minutes. So just go with the hand, and you know, it makes a mixture, right? And then take the mixture out on the surface with flour. Yes, we're gonna just put some flour on the counter. I use my counter because it's non-stick, it doesn't stick really. And if it does, just put a little bit of flour, so it's not a big deal. You don't mix too much because you want that butter in there, like chunks. So that's it. So it's together, more or less. The dough is, you know, it's this consistency. I'll show you in a second. So this is the consistency of the dough there. But then I'm gonna just put flour on the counter. Just put it here so I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna take with my. Okay, just put some flour and then mix here. So it's a good amount, and then you knead the dough for like 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to make it like a, you know, more like a dough kind, like more to stay together. And we kind of nicely put more flour like to this way, and then you just pat the dough. You don't even need a, I don't really use the then you put okay, so now we fold in the blueberries, right? Sorry, I keep saying blueberries, but it's cranberries. Okay, you just fold the cranberries in here, and then you go a few more times, you know, just to kind of put them in. I know the recipe calls to put them in the bowl when you mix the dough, but I found it like this is kind of more uniform, you know, like goes everywhere. So now I'm gonna just put a little bit more flour on the. Oops, I think I put a little bit too much, but it's okay. Just there we go. So it's kind of mixed, right? Like everywhere we have some blueberries, cranberries again. I don't know why I'm saying blueberries. Really, I have no idea. But here they are. So you just do this one more time. And now we can just do the forming a circle. We need to form a circle. And the circle should be 1 inch tall. So, you know, the thickness or thick. So when you look at it, I do have a measuring a ruler. I have a ruler, but I mean right now I kind of know what's an inch. So it has to be pretty thick, because I mean they are going to rise, right? but you make them this way. So this is about an inch. You can measure if you want. I don't really, but you could if you like. And now we take a knife. I have my knife here, and then we cut in like a pizza. You cut it in 8 wedges, you know, like you cut it in 8 wedges. So you got, I go, okay, this is what you want. I'll go once, right, in the middle, then once again. You wanted to have them like pretty much same size, but if one is a little bit bigger than the other one, or a little, you know, it's not a big deal. They're just gonna come a little bit, one of them probably a little bigger than the other one. They are still good. Okay, now we're gonna take our prepared pan, lined with parchment paper, and we're gonna put them in one by one. I'm just gonna keep it here so you can see. I put one way, one the, like you can put them anywhere you want. This way, so they need to have like pretty much enough room beside, like, you know, between themselves, so because they will expand. So then, you know, you want them to be separated. So this like 2 inch between each other, like that's why I put them different, like the other side, the other way, like one this way, one the other. And okay, this, oopsie, and we're gonna put this one in the other way. Let's leave it down. Hurts my hand a little bit. It's pretty heavy. It's 2 cups of, you know, flour and everything else. And now, once they are all in, what I did in the past, and the recipe asks for putting the like sprinkling, brushing first the tops of the scones with some milk or whatever you have. Like if you did the half and half, I would just take some half and half. I would just take some half and half and put in with a brush. Just brush the top. Okay, here is my pastry brush. We brush them a little bit. This pastry brush is a little too long for this, but okay, I'm gonna use another one. Okay. It's a little too long for these guys, so it just splashes all over. Okay, there we go. What we want to do is put in, you know, the sugar on top, because the sugar will kind of be nice to that's what the recipe calls, and then it's it gets, you know, like that crystallized sugar when it bakes, and it makes like a little nice little crust over with sugar, but it's not that much, you know. You just take a little bit of sugar. I'm gonna just put it in my cup. And then just take in your hand and just put on top of the scones, just like this. I hope you can see my camera is set there, but that's what you do. You put sugar, 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 sugar. One more. I have to put sugar on one more. I'm filming myself, so my camera is on the tripod, as you can probably tell. Okay, and that's it. And off it goes in a preheated oven, 425 Fahrenheit. And I'm gonna come back when it's done.